I keep hitting record and then realizing that I'm not prepared.
Hello everybody, I'm here to ruin your party, yeah. There's always someone at a party that ruins it. And you know what? I think that someone is me.
Hey everyone, so I'd like to apologize for whatever the background looks like, but also I'm in the middle of packing my life away so I can move to Florida in 2 weeks, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. Today's video is going to be the worst books I read in 2018. I didn't do one of these videos last year just because usually when I don't like a book, I just stop reading it and I never finish it. But this year, for a couple of them, I pushed through. Some of them because they were kind of funny, and others because I was just trying to finish a book. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I'm like looking at my laptop to the side. It's gonna be Bad Romeo and Broken Juliet. Who's this by? I'm so prepared. Very prepared. By Lisa Raven. Okay. So, number one, they were just too long. I felt like the story dragged on, and I don't know if you really like this book, maybe it doesn't feel that way, but because I was not enjoying it, I felt like it was dragging on. Why is this book over 300 pages? Like, there's nothing, it just didn't feel necessary. I don't know. And then also, if you didn't follow me on Twitter while I was reading this book, you missed out, because there was a passage that I read that shook me to my core. And I don't think I have the video. If I do, then I'm gonna post it right now. But if I don't, oh well. But basically, the author really like went ahead and like described a penis as a pretty peen, and like just like really went to depth about how beautiful this guy's penis was. And like, I don't know if the author has ever seen like a real penis, but they're not pretty. So like, I don't understand why she was like glorifying it like that. But it was like the worst thing I've ever read, but also the funniest thing I ever read. Like, I could not stop laughing. And then the second book just like hit, like, it wasn't like the second book was a sequel like 5 years later or whatever. It just like it like started exactly where it ended, and I just didn't care, but I finished it because I wanted to finish it. I didn't care about the characters. That's gonna be like a common theme for these books, is like I just don't care about the characters, and I don't know. I really don't have anything to say other than I thought it was really horribly written and it just wasn't good. Okay, so the next book is gonna be This Is Where It Ends by what is it? This Is Where It Ends by Marike Nijkamp. I'm fucking sorry. I can't believe. Okay. So this book was pretty short, and I just realized I didn't talk about what Bad Romeo was about. Oh well. That's not very good. So This Is Where It Ends is about a school shooting, and it's told from multiple perspectives. And I can't remember, but it's more than 3, and it was a little bit too much for me to handle. And I felt like I just don't think I cared about the characters enough to be like worried for what was going to happen to them. And I don't know, like, I just don't think, I feel like if it was for like 3 characters or 2 character perspectives, I would have gotten more of a feel for them and their personality and their life and like what was on the line. But I feel like everything was so jumbled together and I couldn't keep track of what was going on. And I don't even remember if at the beginning of each like chapter it said whose like perspective we were reading from, so it just like threw me off and I didn't really enjoy it. Excuse me. I just didn't really enjoy it, and I was just really excited to read the book, and then it just let me down. This one I own. It's actually my mom's book. Let me grab it. Where is it? Hello. Oh, right here. Perfect. So this is actually a book I reread because I was planning on doing this video series where I reread books that I read in high school and middle school that I gave five stars and really loved and like wouldn't stop talking about, to see how I felt about them. And I picked this book out in particular because I knew I would hate it, and I just wanted to confirm that. I finished the whole thing. It was so hard for me to finish, if I'm going to be honest, and I genuinely do not finish books if I'm hating it. Like, I just put it down because that's just not the type of person I was. But because I wanted to shit talk this book, I read the whole thing. And that's gonna be Beautiful Disaster by Jamie Maguire. This fucking book, literally one of the worst things I've ever read in my entire life. There's nothing like romantic about this book. Like, I don't understand like why this is called a romance, because I didn't feel any fucking romance. Like, I don't know how I read this in high school and was like, oh my god, that's so romantic. Travis, I love you. That's his name, right? Yeah, that's his name. Travis, I love you. Like, there's so many people who are like, oh, like, she's not romanticizing Jamie. The author's not romanticizing like abusive relationships. Like, abusive relationships happen. Yeah, they happen, but she isn't marketing the book as if it's an abusive relationship, and it really is. It's not a healthy relationship, and he never hits her, but that doesn't mean it's not abusive, which I kept seeing people write that in their reviews, and I'm like, emotionally abusive is a thing. That does happen, and it happens in this. And just because he only like punches a wall, like, doesn't mean like that's not violent. Like, that is violent, and you shouldn't get in a fight with your significant other and then punch a wall and like scare them. That's just not how it should go. And also, Travis is so dependent on Abby. It's kind of sad and pathetic. He definitely needs to like go to a therapist. He's way too dependent on her, and again, it's just not healthy, and I hated it so much. And also, it's not really written that well, but anyways, I don't want to talk about that book too much because it just gets me like really angry. See, that one.
Did you accidentally summon me?
That fucking scared me. Jesus. Okay. The next one is kind of a similar vibe to, what was the other one I read? This Is Where It Ends. And it's We All Looked Up by Tommy Wallach. I fucking hated this book. Okay. I fucking hated that book. It was just not good. And it was like the same thing. Like, there was different character perspectives, and I just didn't care about them and like what like would happen to them. Like, the world was ending, and like I just didn't give a shit. And like there's so many things happening, and it just like, it's been so long since I read it, I feel like I can't remember anything, but it just wasn't good. And the writing was not good. I didn't like it. Like, if I'm gonna read a book about the world ending, and like I want to care about the characters and like what's happening to them and like why they're so scared, like I don't know, but it just didn't do that. It didn't like evoke any, is that the right word? Evoke? I think so. It just didn't make me feel any kind of emotion that you would want in something about the world ending. Like, it didn't scare me, it didn't make me sad. I just was like, okay, the world's ending, they're gonna die, like whatever. So the next one is a book, another book that I loved in middle school. It's called It's called Catching Jordan by Miranda Kennelly, whatever the fuck. The writing, not good. That, I feel like I've said that for every book, but I swear to you, I don't understand. I loved this book when I was in middle school. Like, I read it on my Nook, and I was like, oh man, this is the best book ever. And then, like, yeah, yesterday, like last year, I think, or the year before, I bought it, like a physical copy, and I was like, I'm gonna reread this soon. I've reread it this year. I want to sell it. It just made me so angry, not only with the book but like with myself, because I like liked something like that. There's so much like girl hate, and I just don't vibe with that. And it's very much a like I'm not like other girls book, which is my least favorite thing in the entire world. Anytime a book has that in it, I'm completely fucking over it. Like, I can't deal with that. Like, if you think I'm great, just tell me I'm great. You don't need to tell me that I'm better than other girls, because I don't care. Just tell me I'm great. I don't need you to put down other women to make me feel better. Okay? Like, I don't understand, like, why this is a thing. But I feel like the entire book was, I'm not like other girls. I play football. I'm better. I'm smarter than the cheerleaders. Cheerleaders are so dumb. All they care about is, like, what they look like. And I'm like, could you shut up? Okay, so the next one is a poetry collection, and it's gonna be, and it's, I Hope This Reaches Her in Time by R.H. Sin. I did not like this. It was so short, but it, like, did not grasp me at all. Like, there was no poem I read that I was like, oh, I really like that. Nothing. Like, that's all I have to say. Like, there was nothing in that poetry collection that interested in me, that made me think, that made me feel any emotions. I just read it and I didn't like it. Okay, so the next one, if you followed me towards the beginning of this year, you would know how I felt about this book, because I tweeted about it a lot. And that's gonna be City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. And I read the first book for the first time ever this year in January. It was the first, oh no, it wasn't the first book I read in January or this year. And I loved it. I was like, oh my god, this is so good. And then I got to the second book and I fucking hated it. Simon was literally so annoying, and I know everyone keeps telling me like, oh, he gets better, and I'm like, I don't care. He was so fucking annoying in this book. And it's been so long, I can't remember for the life of me what happened. Like, I'm truly don't remember anything, but I just didn't like it. And I was kind of disappointed because I was ready to like tackle on like the mortal instruments, and then I got to the second book and it just like from the high of the first book, and it really let me down. And I've read some of the third book. I haven't finished it. Who knows if I ever will, but I bought it from Barnes & Noble, so I'm gonna have to finish it because I freaking bought it. So that's the end of this video where I shit on books that I did not like. I hope you guys enjoyed it. The next video you see is gonna be my favorite books of 2018. It's a hard one. I read a lot of great books, but we're gonna do it.
Rain clouds over my head, so cloudy.